Hi guys, and welcome to day 3 in my 12 days of declutters. We are tackling my single bronzers, and as I've mentioned in my previous 2 declutters, basically this is not going to be ruthless. This is just me going through and mostly doing a collections video and reminding myself of what I have, and if I can also declutter a few things along the way, that would be great. This way I can start off 2024 fresh, because I really would like to cycle through as much of my makeup as possible in the upcoming year. It was something I really wanted to do this year, and I started off strong and then unfortunately did not get through everything. So we're kind of continuing on that whole vein, and I figured what a great way to start a new year by just clearing my headspace, clearing out some older products, and just checking up on what I have and reminding myself. If you like declutters, if you're interested to see how I do today and also to continue seeing the rest of my declutter series, then I hope that you will consider subscribing. For those of you that are new here, hi, my name is Natalia. I am a concert pianist who loves all things beauty, and as you already heard, I'm trying to cycle through more of what I have, bringing less new things. It's kind of been an on and off theme for my channel in general for the past few years, and I hope that you guys will stick around. If you're not new, then thank you so much for coming back, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so these are products that I've actually used and tried. I have a few. Do I have a few? I know I have one new bronzer product during the Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals when Give Beauty had 50% off their entire website. I did buy one of their duos. It's, I believe, a cream and powder in one compact. I have not tried that yet. I am very excited to do that soon. But first, I figured let's clear some space in my overstuffed drawers. I feel like I don't have that many bronzers if I guess I were to compare myself to other people here on YouTube and in the beauty space, and a lot of mine are older products. I don't have that many new items, but I still see, I think, maybe a couple that I can let go of. Let's see how we do once I actually start opening them up and figuring things out. So give me a second to get myself organized, and we're gonna go through these one by one. Okay, here's what we are working with. To be honest, as I was opening these one by one, I ended up realizing there's really not that much here I want to get rid of. However, there are a few things here that I would really like to test out in the first couple of months of 2024. So put them in my basket of dooms to see if I still like these products, because there's a few things I haven't used in quite a long time. One of those is this glowish bronzer. I purchased this, I believe, sometime in 2022. I did a whole video actually of all the Huda Beauty products I purchased. I think it was last Black Friday, not this one. This is an 01 Light Soft Radiance. From what I remember, I really liked this bronzer. Now, the problem is because I'm so fair, sometimes even the lightest bronzers end up pulling a bit orange on me, or just not quite the right undertone, and I can't quite remember what time of the year I tried this and what the result of that shade match was. So this is one I would really like to test out and see if it's going to permanently stay in my stash for me to use up, because bronzers is one of those things that takes me a very long time to use up, but a product that I can use up if I really put my mind to it. Because unlike with, let's say, eyeshadow or lipstick or even blush, I don't mind using the same bronzer for quite an extensive period of time. So if I really like this one, this could be a candidate for a future project pan or something like that. So I'm going to keep that one. one. This is another one that I'm tempted on the one hand to declutter because I've had this for a really long time and it's such a little size. I feel like I forget about it. But on the other hand, I don't know, Laura Geller products used to be so well spoken about here on YouTube, and everything old is new again, and I kind of feel like I should really give it a chance before letting it go. I'm curious about the marbling, the fact that there is a little bit of a blushy pink in here, and I'm wondering if on my fair skin that might actually work well. I was also considering maybe swatching these and comparing all of these, but I can't say I really want to be here all night either, so I feel like it's better if I just put this in a future basket of doom and get back to this one in a few months. And if I don't use it by, let's say, like March or April in the first quarter of the year, then I might reconsider and declutter it at that point, because I have been in 2023 already doing more declutters kind of as the year goes by instead of saving everything for the end of the year. And I have a feeling I'm going to continue doing that throughout 2024 because I don't want to be hoarding things. So these two are basically on the chopping block, so to speak. One that I know I want to keep and actually use up is this Cover FX bronzer. This used to be in a project pan of mine. Can't remember which year, or maybe it was for 2 years, but I don't feel like I have that much left. I mean, you can see there's a humongous pan, and also like if I look on the side, I can tell, I can see like all the metal, so it's not like the product is reaching all the way to the top along the edges either. I should start using this now because this is a great winter shade for me, because it is one of the few bronzers, and I think they've unfortunately discontinued this. This is the, as I said, the Cover FX bronzer in Sunkissed. I gotta see if it's still made or not, but this is one of the few that is super light. So this is one of those bronzers even somebody like me with a super fair skin tone doesn't have to think about. I don't have to be careful with it. I don't have to worry about overdoing it and then having to blend like a maniac. This is one that I can just go in with a clear conscience, even if I'm half asleep, with a big fluffy brush, and it's going to look nice and natural on me. So definitely keeping this one because I would like to use it up. One that I was debating whether I'm going to keep or not is this one from Ulta Beauty. I had this in a basket of doom earlier this year, and it was one of those products that I threw in thinking, I'm probably not even going to get around to it, or I'm going to hate it and declutter it. I mean, it's just Ulta Beauty, this little cheapy cardboard packaging, and this product really surprised me. I really enjoyed using it, and the only reason I am torn on whether to keep it or not is just the pan size, to be honest. I like to go in with quite a nice big fluffy bronzer brush, and obviously I can't do that with this one. I don't know. I'm about to receive the Singe Beauty face brushes set, and in Angelica Nyquist's video that she did about that, because that is her brand for those of you guys that are not familiar, she mentioned how a lot of those face brushes are on the smaller side so that, you know, there's a placement precision. I'm wondering if any of those brushes would work nicely with this one, because this is another one of those bronzers I could see myself use up as long as I have a brush that I can easily use this with, because if I have to be careful and like really dilly-dally with this thing, I know myself, it's going to deter me from using it. But if I can find a brush that I can use this with, I would actually enjoy using it. So this is kind of a maybe, and if I don't find a brush that works, then I am going to declutter this at a later time. This was another product that has been in my basket of doom, and the shade that I absolutely loved was of course the lightest shade right here. The other two, however, were not really that great for me, and for that reason, as much as I loved this one, I did, and part of me is tempted to like depot it somehow, but I know myself, if I depot it, I will definitely never reach for it. It will sit in the Z palette somewhere and get completely lost and forgotten about. And I can see, like, even in that 1 month that I had this in my basket of doom, I use this a lot because I already have almost side pan on this. So of course the project panner wannabe in me, I mean, I I do enjoy seeing Pan really wants to give this a fair chance and use it up. But on the other hand, I have other bronzers I really need to use, and to reach into this for this one tiny little pan, I don't know if it's worth it. Oh, I didn't even mention, this is from Pure. This is their Sculpt, and this is in Silhouette, Go Figure, and Bronze. So maybe what I could do is see if they still make these 3 shades and see if, I don't know if Silhouette, I guess Silhouette must be the one that I really like. Maybe in the future, once I use up a couple of other bronzers, or if I'm really itching to try something else and I remember this one, maybe I will buy it in a single. So this one is gonna go. Another one that I think is gonna go, even though I've only used it once or twice, I've used it actually in a recent Get Ready With Me that I did when I came back to YouTube earlier this month, because I did take a bit of a hiatus, is this bronzer from, well, it's actually a contour powder, and it's from a brand called Complex Culture, and it also says distributed by Beauty Perspectives. So I'm not sure if the name of the brand is Complex Culture. I think so, because it's got the CC on the front, and I think the contour shade is Power Player. You know, it wasn't like a love at first use. I know myself, I just can feel it already in my bones that I'm not going to be reaching for this. So I think I should just pass this along to somebody else that might enjoy it. Not to mention, I've noticed that for contouring, I've really been into creams lately, specifically my e.l.f. Contour stick, but we'll get to that because I'm not even sure if I'm going to keep it, and we'll talk about why. So I want to go through the powders and then tackle the only creams I have, which is just these 5 right here. Let's talk about these Nars ones, because these are both Hula, if I remember correctly. Oh, sorry, not Hula. I was looking at Benefit, and of course my brain played a trick on me. I meant to say, of course, Laguna. So this is the Tahiti bronzer, the Laguna Tahiti bronzer, and I can't remember if it has like a little bit of a sheen or something to it, or if it's completely matte, because then I also have just this regular Laguna. So not sure if this was called Tahiti just because it was like special limited edition situation with that eater brush. Who remembers this eater brush? The full size of it was like $50 or something, and it was the cheapest made, most ridiculously overpriced shedding little brush. Like, this thing sheds like crazy. I don't know if you guys can tell, like I barely pulled on it, but it sheds. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I still used it just for convenience because they do come in the same compact, and I think that's why I bought this, is I really wanted to try that stupid Eda brush, and I didn't have a Laguna at the time, so I remember when this came out, I jumped on it. Clearly I've gotten a lot of use out of this. And then I got a gift with purchase, and I got this little mini for free. I'm torn. Obviously a part of me is like, well, you really don't need both, but then there's a part of me that really wants to one day use this up because I use this product a lot. I mean, this is a big pan, and for me to have that much used up means I was dedicated to this thing for a while there. And I kind of like having this as a little mini for travel or something like that. Now again, I know I said that it's hard for me to get a nice fluffy brush into something like this, but this doesn't have any other products around it, whereas this does. So this, I don't care if I go to town on this little thing. And I feel like it might be smart for me to have a little mini like this of a bronzer that I know is reliable for me, that works for when I'm, you know, going on like a quick overnight trip or something and I want to pack really, really light. I also have this little guy, so he could serve that same purpose, but I feel like this is a much cooler tone than Laguna, and it would be nice to have one of each, this more as a contour and this more as a bronzer. I don't know, leave me a comment down below if you think I'm making a mistake by keeping both, but I kind of feel like I should still keep both because when I am getting ready at home, I can use the big one and then I can save this little guy for little trips and things like that. So I think these two are gonna stay. They are my tried and true. I really like the Nars Laguna bronzers, and I think I'm not ready to part with these guys. yet. I think I am, however, ready to part with this. I always dreamed of using this up one day, and this was another one I worked so hard on behind the scenes. I was one of those YouTube watchers that used to project pan with actual, like with other project panners off screen. This was way before I even started my own channel, and you could see like I used to even do little markings for myself and keep track of my progress and all that. And this was one of the products I remember I put into my unofficial project pan behind the scenes. But honestly, since I started my YouTube channel and since I've gotten a few other bronzers in my collection, I just keep forgetting I have this. I don't know if it's the stupid packaging or what it is that deters me from using it, but I couldn't even tell you the last time I used this Benefit Hoola bronzer. I mean, yes, it's a cult favorite, and yes, as I said, everything old is new again, and I'm sure at some point it'll blow up on TikTok all over again, but I think I'll be okay without it. So I think I'm gonna part with my Benefit Hoola bronzer. This one is a little hard. This one's sentimental, but like I can't hold on to everything. It's just not wise. Okay, and then as far as the other powders, I think I'm gonna keep the rest of these. So let's run through them. This is the Item Beauty Cheek Money in Vibes, the Swipe and Glow Contour Powder. Item is not even a brand anymore, just kind of a bummer because I kind of discovered them as they were going out of business. And one of my favorite lip glosses was from them, and I recently used it up, so you guys will see it in a future empties video. And now I've recently tried this. This I think was in a basket of doom earlier this year and actually liked it, or maybe I used it in a Get Ready With Me. I can't remember. I thought it was a really nice contour powder, and I think as of right now, with the exception of maybe something in face palettes, this is the only true contour powder that I have in my collection, so I think I should keep it. This is one that I really enjoy using in the summer. It's not really a shade I can use in the winter much, but I love the combination of the different bronzers and the blush and the highlighter. It's almost one of those all-in-one products for me, so on really busy days or on no makeup days or whatever, I can just use this as my only cheek product and be out the door, and I really, really like it for that. I've used quite a lot of this. I could see myself putting this in a future project pan as well. This, if I haven't mentioned, is the Too Faced Sweetie Pie bronzer. They call this the Radiant Matte Bronzer infused with peach and sweet fig cream. And yes, it unfortunately does still smell, something that I know a lot of people love. I really could do without, but that's fine. It doesn't bother me too much. The Too Faced has all been rubbed off. Clearly, I've used this a lot. I do really like it. This, I would imagine, I've never tried any of the products that are marketed as, blonzers or something like that. It's like the blush and the bronzer together. This, I feel, at least on my skin tone, is definitely one of those products where I can use it as an all-in-one. And it even has some shimmery, like more sheeny parts in here. So it's even has the highlighting properties for me in there as well. Really like this product. And then the last two powder bronzers that I have are the Milani. This is the Silky Matte Bronzing Powder, and I have it in 01 Sunlight. And this one is more, I guess you could say this could be a contour, maybe, because it is more of a cooler bronzer, but I use it as just a regular bronzer. So I haven't used it that much yet. I've definitely used it, but I've had this, I feel like, for a few years, and considering how long I've had it, I definitely haven't given it enough attention. But maybe now that I am phasing out at least a couple of my products, that means I will start reaching for these. And obviously with my basket of dooms, I will rotate through things. So like I have a couple that I want to try first, and then once I give those a go, I'll start reaching into some of these other products to test them out. Definitely the Milani one is one I should pull into a future basket of doom and see how I still like it. And then I guess same thing with the Marc Jacobs, because this is another one I don't use that often. I know most people have the Tantastic, I think it was, in the white packaging. I have the Tantric because if I remember correctly, this was the lighter shade. So obviously I thought that would be a better match for me being as fair as I am. Plus, I believe I found this at a TJ Maxx or Marshall's. I did not pay the full price for this. Marc Jacobs Beauty is no longer around, unfortunately. unfortunately, there were rumors earlier this year that they are going to come back. I really hope they do. It was a brand that I really, really liked. I have a bunch of eyeshadow palettes from them that I adore. I still have one blush and kind of wish I, back in the day, purchased more, but they were, and you know, a luxury brand. They were expensive. So as far as powders, I think we are going to keep these 9. This is a maybe, and these 3 are leaving my collection. Let's talk about the creams. All right. Unless I'm forgetting something, not counting my face palettes and the Give Duo that I am about to bring into my collection soon, this I believe is all of my liquid and cream bronzers. Am I going to get rid of any of these? I am torn about what to do with the e.l.f. products. So let's first talk about the 3 that I'm definitely keeping. This Westman Atelier, this is the Face Trace Contour Stick. So this is more of a contour shade. Definitely, it does have more of that cool gray tone. This is not going anywhere. This came in a little 3-pack. It was ridiculously expensive, and I am determined to use this thing until it is gone and get my money's worth. Rare Beauty, this is the one I pull for all the time. This is the one I travel with. This is the one that came to Vegas with me, and I've been using it for a while. Obviously, there's a ton of product in here. I'm not going to roll it all the way up. So this is going to last me a while, and I'm okay with that. I kind of really enjoy this. Again, bronzers and contour products is one of those few categories that I don't get easily bored with, and I can use the same product over and over again. So I don't need that many because I just like to actually use them. The Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour Wand or whatever, it's great to use, easy to use, really good product. The problem is, again, I'm so fair. This is a little dark for me, but I still make it work. It was expensive. I do really like it. I wish there were more shades because on me, this is a bit deep. The nice thing is it's really easy to blend. So if I accidentally overdo it, it's very easy to fix that. So for that reason, definitely this is gonna stay. This got a lot of love from me in the summer. So these I bought as a comparison to this. I even did a video on it. I can link it if you guys are curious. And out of these 2 products, I bought a contour and a bronzer shade. So the contour was the Fair Light and the bronzer was the Light Medium, because the Fair Light is much more of a cool shade. Like, it's very cool. Here, this one I will swatch so you guys can see. Like, that is very, very cool. And I love that. I love the fact that it has the skinnier, you know, little poofy thing, because I can really put it in specific places on my face and kind of chisel my face out. Here's the only problem with this, and I heard Angelica Nyquist talk about this in her declutter videos. I don't know what it is, but this product, if you look closely, is looking like it is separating or doing something in there. I mean, I haven't even had this that long. I bought it earlier this year. Same is happening. It's like almost looking like it's marbling in there with this contour shade. Now, this was not the most fantastic shade match, and I can totally live without this. So I'm definitely going to declutter this light medium shade. I'm torn about what to do with this one because I use this a lot. And it was, I think, before the Vegas trip that I pulled it out because I hadn't used it in a little bit to bring it with me. And I noticed this color situation and I was like, oh my goodness, is this even still safe and okay to use? I did use it, and I mean, I'm still here and my face didn't seem to react too badly to that. So I don't know. I'm going to put this like in a maybe, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Do you own this? Has yours done the same thing? Or do you know anybody that has this and has mentioned this? Because I don't know if I should just repurchase a new one. It just seems like e.l.f. is no longer the super cheap brand that we used to know and love. So what are these, like $9? I mean, I don't want to be spending $9 every 6 months if this is going to go bad every 6 months, because I feel like that's about how long I've had it. So yeah, what do you think, guys? Definitely getting rid of this one. Not sure about this one. Keeping these 3. And that's where we're at. Getting rid of 4 products. I've got 2 maybes. I've got 3 creams that are for sure staying. And I've got, what did I say before? 9 powder products. Some of them are on the chopping block, but as of right now, they're definitely staying. Would love to hear your thoughts on the e.l.f. and I'm gonna go looking for a brush for the Ulta Beauty. And other than that, that's all I got for you guys today in this declutter. Let me know how you think I did. Let me know how many bronzers you own. Are you a bronzer lover and have a whole bunch, or are you somebody that sticks to just 1 or 2 until you use it up and then repurchase the same thing or try something new? I think we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you so much for joining me for today's declutter. As always, please subscribe if you haven't already. I would absolutely love that and appreciate it so much. It really helps out. And I hope that you guys are all doing really, really well. I hope that you're continuing to stay safe and healthy. Take care of yourselves and those around you. And I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye, guys.